Madam, I am confused again. I hope you can generously teach me and help me relieve my worries. Soaring into the immortal realm, Xia Qian, who had been mining for 10,000 years, finally emerged as a mining leader. Watching the ferry in which soaring up from the lower world, Xia Qian whispered, "Please work harder." Keywords of the novel. Madam, I'm here to discuss again. No pop-ups, madam, I'm here to discuss again. Download the complete TXT collection, madam, I'm here to discuss again. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Man in the Immortal Realm, mining for 10,000 years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Man in the Immortal Realm, mining for 10,000 years, rain cold, weaving dreams, Ingyu, Shenyang, I miss you so much. Qingxian Immortal Realm, number 99 mining area of Shenfeng Immortal Kingdom. After a busy day, Xia Qian returned to the mine assigned to him for living and lay on the stone bed, regretting once again, almost shedding tears. After crossing over, he was born in a small world called Blue Feather World. Although his background may be average, he has exceptional talent and is a lucky person with a heavenly spiritual root, not the kind of useless five-element spiritual root that other travelers have. I have been worshipped in the Holy Land since I was young and have been under the tutelage of the great power of crossing the tribulation realm. The journey of cultivation was smooth sailing without encountering any setbacks. In the end, he safely overcame the calamity and obtained the title of Heavenly Immortal, becoming the 9th Heavenly Immortal since the establishment of the Xiandao in the Blue Feather World, and was titled Chongqing Emperor. He, who thought he was the son of fate, ultimately did not stay because of the persuasion of his junior sister, senior sister, and several beauties. He resolutely chose to ascend to the immortal realm. I thought I could dominate the Qingxian immortal realm and become the immortal emperor of the immortal realm from the great emperor of the 1,000 worlds. Unfortunately, just as he ascended, he was caught by the people of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom as a miner, forcing him to go mining day and night. 10,000 years have passed now. Over the past 10,000 years, Xia Qian's arrogant nature has been completely erased. He really regrets it. Why did he abandon his gentle hometown in the Blue Feather World and come to the Qingxian Immortal Realm to endure hardship? The original Xia Qian was also a graceful and beautiful man in the Blue Feather World, otherwise he wouldn't have attracted many admirers. But now, 10,000 years of dark mining life have left him without his former charm. In these 10,000 years, if it weren't for Xia Qian's innate talent for sensing mineral resources, he wouldn't have lived to this day. This can also be considered Xia Qian's golden finger. He was born with a unique sensitivity to various innate treasures, and his intuition was almost 100% accurate. This is also the reason why Xia Qian was able to cultivate to the level of a celestial being while practicing with ease. There are too many people who practice without setbacks, but reaching the realm of immortality is not so easy. I don't know how long this mining life will last. Xia Qian is very worried now that his family members will suddenly fly up to find him, and that's a big problem. Xia Qian, Elder Su is looking for you, go quickly. Just as Xia Qian was about to start practicing and restore his immortal power within his body, a supervisor guard of the 99th mine vein found Xia Qian and conveyed instructions to him. Elder Su, named Su Shao, is a powerful 7th-level immortal. In the immortal realm, immortals also have hierarchical divisions. From bottom to top, there are 4 major realms. Heavenly Immortal, True Immortal, Immortal King, and Immortal Emperor. Among them, the 3 major realms of Heavenly Immortal, True Immortal, and Immortal King all contain 9 sub-realms, ranging from level 1 to level 9. Xia Qian is just a 3rd-level celestial being now. For the past 10,000 years, Xia Qian has had very little time to practice, and he has been taking time out of his busy schedule to practice. Being able to reach the 3rd level of the Heavenly Immortal is also due to his good talent. Today, Su Shao came to find him, which surprised Xia Qian. During his time in mining, he was also very good at hiding his clumsiness, so he probably didn't show any tricks. With a hint of doubt, Xia Qian arrived at the place where Su Xiao lived outside the mine and whispered, "I've seen Elder Su." After seeing Xia Qian's arrival, Su Xiao nodded slightly and said, "Xia Qian, I summoned you today, which can be considered as bringing you good news." Hearing that it was a good thing made Xia Qian happy and quickly said, "I don't know what good thing it is." Su Xiao smiled and said, "The source stone you submitted earlier revealed an unparalleled immortal treasure, which Princess Xia liked very much. She specially rewarded you with a breaking realm pill and arranged 2 positions for you to choose from." To be honest, Xia Qian was indeed very surprised. "Did you get through this?" The place where Xia Qian mined is the Immortal Stone Mine, which only contains the universal currency of the Qingxian Immortal Realm, Immortal Stone. Even if Xia Qian dug up as many immortal stones as possible, it would have no effect. He could only obtain freedom after mining for 100,000 years according to the rules. Not long ago, Xia Qian dug up a source stone. The source stone is something used to gamble with stones. I don't know what's inside, it's all based on luck. Xia Qian ultimately submitted it because he couldn't take it with him even if he didn't submit it. I didn't expect this source stone to bring Xia Qian such a great harvest. Breaking the realm pill, this is a pill that can help immortals below the 7th level of the heavenly immortal improve their realm. You can only take 1 pill in your lifetime, and its value is extremely precious. But now what Xia Qian wants to know more is what kind of 2 choices this 9th princess has provided for him. After giving the breaking realm pill to Xia Qian, Su Xiao continued, "Princess Xia has arranged 2 ways for you. Either you can go to the underworld city outside of the 99th mine to become a city guard, or you can stay in the 99th mine and replace me as the guardian here." This made Xia Qian feel like a dream, not expecting such a source stone to bring such a significant change in his destiny. "I finally have a good luck." After hesitating for a moment, Xia Qian made a choice and tentatively asked, "Elder Su, if I become the guardian of this place, what should you do?" "Better a chicken head than a phoenix tail. Go to the underworld city and become a city guard." With his current level 3 heavenly immortal strength, he is the lowest level existence. I don't know how long he will have to endure to make it through. If you stay in mine 99, Xia Qian will be the leader here. After completing the mission targets of the Immortal Kingdom, you will be at ease. Moreover, Xia Qian's talent for exploring mineral veins and sensing makes it the best choice for him to stay here. The most important thing is that the place where Xia Qian flew up from the Blue Feather World is near the 99th mine vein. Xia Qian has to stay here. In the future, if his beautiful confidant rises up, Xia Qian can also receive him as soon as possible. Su Xiao replied, "Of course, I have been transferred to guard the newly discovered mineral veins, which can be considered a better place to go. The immortal stones here have been mined for 7 or 8 times, and the Immortal Kingdom is about to give up here. You have taken the breaking realm pill to reach the 4th level of the heavenly immortal, and it is just right to be the guardian here. When he came here as a guardian, he only had a 5th level cultivation as a heavenly immortal." This answer made Xia Qian make a direct decision. "I have decided to stay here and contribute to the Immortal Kingdom." Su Xiao didn't say much and took out a contract to Xia Qian. There is a word called self-theft. In order to prevent such incidents from happening, the Immortal Kingdom had every guardian sign this heavenly oath before taking office. Xia Qian paid attention and wrote that all the ore mined by the miners below must be turned over, and violators will be punished by the heavens. And the ore that the supervisor personally mined does not count. As a guardian, I receive 500 immortal stones as compensation from the Immortal Council every year. Xia Qian did not hesitate and directly signed the agreement. Su Xiao watched as Xia Qian finished these things and put away the heavenly Tao oath. He took out an inferior immortal weapon, the scorpion tail whip, from his cave and whispered, "This inferior immortal weapon is yours. Apart from you, there are still 5 heavenly immortal third-level guardians left in the number 99 mining area for you to drive. During this time, you can catch those ascending beings nearby as coolies, work hard, and don't let Princess Jiu down. Newcomers and new book seeking support. Similar to the style of the previous book, strive for some progress. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Ascender Xia Qian and his pretty wife. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Ascender Xia Qian and his pretty wife Xia Qian felt that the sky in the fairy world today was particularly blue. Hard work will indeed bring sweetness. Xia Qian, the breaking realm pill, was not taken immediately. He has reached the 3rd level of the heavenly immortal for quite some time. Just need to settle down and stabilize it, and you can reach the 4th level of the heavenly immortal. At the 4th level, taking the breaking realm pill to break through the heavenly immortal's 5th level is the best choice, but using it at this time would be too risky. Mining Area 99 is very safe. Because this is a super large mine, it is divided into hundreds of zones for ease of management. The boundaries of the Xianxia mineral veins are isolated by the formation of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom, and guarded by strong ones. It's difficult for guards like him to go out, let alone these mining slaves. When Xia Qian was still a miner, he called himself a miner. Now that he has become a manager, he calls these people mining slaves. Double standard. There's nothing better than that. In the context of environmental safety, Xia Qian also needs to maximize his own interests. After expressing his attitude to the other 5 guards, Xia Qian entered the formal seclusion practice. There won't be any problems in the daily life of Mine 99. After 3 years of hard work, Xia Qian can be considered as reaching the 4th level of the heavenly immortal. Just when he was planning to take the breaking realm pill with all his might and reach the 5th level of the heavenly immortal. There has been a change in the number 99 mining area he is responsible for. 2 lower realm cultivators flew up from the mining area. And it's a couple. Under normal circumstances, ascending beings only have the strength of a celestial being at the 1st level. After ascending, the guards can easily take it down and recruit it as a mining slave. This pair of Taoist priests both have a 1st level cultivation in the heavenly immortal realm, but their strength is not average, which has made Lu Geng, the guardian of the 3rd level of the heavenly immortal realm, suffer. As the person in charge of mining area 99, Xia Qian definitely needs to go out of customs to resolve this matter. The people who ascend from the lower realm to the immortal realm are random, and there is no fixed location for their ascent. After Xia Qian arrived, he was also very surprised at the first time. This couple looks like fairy maidens. The man is carefree and confident, with a jade tree facing the wind, no different from when Xia Qian flew up. A woman's divine beauty is obedient, while a little bird is submissive. This woman reminds Xia Qian of her childhood sweetheart Shui Yuhan in the blue feather world. Their temperament is so similar. Men have similar aesthetic preferences. As the emperor of the blue feather world, it is necessary for Xia Qian to collect various beauties to form the 100 Beauties map. And it's not surprising that the man in front of me, who is also the ruler of the lower world, has the same approach as Xia Qian. It is normal for his Taoist couple to have an aesthetic collision with Xia Qian's 100 Beauties painting. Xia Qian also came from the lower world and didn't want to be too difficult when encountering such a person. He politely said, "Friend, don't make meaningless struggles. This is the territory of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom. If you can mine here for 100,000 years, you will have freedom." It's not that Xia Qian ruthlessly targeted these unfamiliar innocent people, but that this couple cannot do without this mineral vein. This kind of soaring person wandering around the mining area will only end up being killed. After seeing Xia Qian and the newly arrived guards of 3 heavenly immortals at the 3rd level, Yi Chen gave up his struggle, but his heart was contemptuous. Just a few heavenly immortals at the 3rd level. I thought they were so powerful. Practice for me for a while, and I will definitely make you look good. As the pride of the lower world, Yi Chen's pride goes without saying. I have no regard for several low-level immortals, including Xia Qian. It won't be long before he can surpass these ants. Let him mine for 100,000 years. Dreaming. Seeing Yi Chen's appearance, Xia Qian sneered in his heart. He came up with the same idea as the guy in front of him. He thought that with a little practice, his unique talent could take off. Unfortunately, what the immortal world lacks the most are all geniuses. Not to mention the innate talents of local creatures in the immortal realm. Just talk about those who have ascended to the lower realm, how many talents are not good? What is the gap between them? It's fate, luck. Digging mines every day makes it difficult to squeeze out 1 or 2 hours of cultivation time. And these 1 or 2 hours are still when both body and mind are exhausted. What fame can one cultivate? After a while, we will know the end. Take out the space ring. Xia Qian reached out to Yi Chen and Mu Wanling. Although there is nothing valuable on the ascent. But no one can say for sure. Every miner has to go through this step. Xia Qian demanded his own space ring, which naturally made Yi Chen extremely unwilling. You can see several henchmen behind Xia Qian watching with fierce eyes. In the end, Yi Chen chose to compromise and gave all of his and his wife's space rings to Xia Qian's hands. Xia Qian scanned Yi Chen with his own mind and made sure there was nothing else, so he didn't bother anymore. Under normal circumstances, a soaring woman would be subjected to a body search and examination at this time. And it's during the body search it's okay if there's no Taoist couple, but if there are Taoist couples only the Taoist couple can listen to the sound outside the mine. Xia Qian didn't do that. He took the space ring and directly instructed the guard Shifeng to arrange tasks for these two newcomers. After Yi Chen and his Taoist priest Mu Wanling left, the guard Wang Tong was by Xia Qian's side and obscene admonished, "Elder Xia, should I go beat that kid and ask him to bring that beautiful woman to you for a check?" Up. Mining areas are also a complex small society. Women who soar up are basically those with stunning looks and superior qualifications in the lower realm. The lucky ones may be able to form a good relationship with guardians or similar individuals. But more of them are still being played with by these people recklessly, like prostitutes. Resistance. Do you have that strength? Fortunately, Xia Qian did not bring his wife and Taoist couple when he ascended to the upper realm, otherwise Su Shao, this old thing, has really done a lot. Now, can I also enjoy such privileges myself? Xia Qian had to admit that Mu Wanling was indeed very much to his taste. Who made Mu Wanling's temperament so similar to Xia Qian's first love junior sister Shui Yuhan? First love is always beautiful and unforgettable. And he has also worked hard for 10,000 years, and can indeed enjoy it appropriately. But can I do that myself? What is the difference between oneself and the lowly if one does so? His name is Xia Qian, not cheap. In the blue feather world, Xia Qian played very well, but it was all in situations where you were willing. Xia Qian won't touch certain bottom lines. Wang Tong Dao, let's go down and practice well. Xia Qian didn't know how to answer Wang Tong. Let Wang Tong reform and not think about these things. Xia Qian is not so tall. And he has just become the elder of this mining area, so it is not advisable to have conflicts with people like Wang Tong, so as not to fail to fulfill the mission targets set by the Immortal Kingdom for his mining area. The 5 guards left by Su Shao are also the same person who drank soup with Su Shao before, and they have one heart. And he only came from a mining background, so he didn't convince these guys. Xia Qian still doesn't have enough strength, let's first seek stability. Xia Qian's refusal made Wang Tong somewhat unhappy. Mu Wanling is too tender and attractive compared to dozens of other women who have risen hundreds or thousands of years in the mining area. They are all tired of those women and naturally crave the newcomers. Their idea is for Elder Xia Qian to take Mu Wanling's lead, and once Xia Qian gets tired of playing, it's their turn. But now Xia Qian is not on the road, a lowly lower world mining slave, giving you a chance is not worth it. Watching Xia Qian leave, Wang Tong sneered in his heart. He didn't mean to do anything to Xia Qian. In Wang Tong's view, Xia Qian is just a lucky mining slave. He had already given Xia Qian enough face by allowing her to take Mu Wanling's lead. I didn't expect Xia Qian to even pretend. What about becoming a guardian elder? Xia Qian doesn't do it, he does it. The controversy caused by Yi Chen can only be considered a minor one. Xia Qian only took the Breaking Realm pill, and after 3 months of seclusion, a major event occurred in his number 99 mining area. The Guardian King of the 3rd level of the Heavenly Immortal has passed away. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Yi Chen dies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Yi Chen dies. After learning about this news, the first person Xia Qian suspected was naturally Yi Chen. Dogs cannot change their habit of eating shit, and Wang Tong will not easily let go of Yi Chen's Taoist couple Mu Wanling. Coming down to find their trouble was something Xia Qian had anticipated. I just didn't expect Wang Tong to die, and he was the kind who died without a whole body. This made Xia Qian very suspicious. After reaching the Heavenly Immortal level, the body can already undergo a transformation between virtual and real. It is impossible to kill the opponent silently without exceeding their level of strength. Especially Wang Tong has the 3rd level of Heavenly Immortal power, while Mu Wanling and Yi Chen are only the 1st level of Heavenly Immortal. If Wang Tong was killed by the joint efforts of these two people, how could there be no movement at all? Xia Qian's initial idea was to report this matter. But if I really want to report it myself, what will be the result? In exchange for ridicule from the people above, saying that this quasi-celestial 5th level person is afraid of Yi Chen, a celestial 1st level ascender. They don't care if they don't say it themselves, and maybe the people above will give Yi Chen a high regard and promote him. So Xia Qian may be in danger. Yi Chen has a big secret on his body. He just took his space ring, and whether he looked at it or not, it was unbearable for Yi Chen, right? Xia Qian fell into deep thought and thought to himself that he had really taken a wrong look. Yi Chen was not an ordinary ascending person, but others are numb, and my own actions must be considered as a betrayal of this guy. Anyway, Xia Qian plans to first understand this matter. He found Shi Feng and inquired about the specific situation. Shi Feng stuttered and said that Wang Tong seemed to be going to the mine to find that person, and then he never returned. Wang Tong's space ring and other things have not been found to be missing. Xia Qian led 4 Heavenly Immortals and their 3rd level guards, including Shi Feng, to mine together. He also did this to avoid being foolproof. Wang Tong suffered losses below, and the other 4 with the same cultivation as Wang Tong dared not move. With Xia Qian, the quasi-celestial 5th level leader, these people also have confidence. Yi Chen is not here, but underneath the mine. On the way, Xia Qian inquired about Yi Chen's situation during this period. Shi Feng replied truthfully, that guy has been able to submit immortal stones truthfully for the past few months. The quantity is not much, just in line with the standards, and he looks very relaxed. His cultivation has also become much more stable, and it seems that he is about to reach the 2nd level of the Heavenly Immortal. This made Xia Qian even more shocked. Yi Chen is about to reach the 2nd level of the Heavenly Immortal, so soon there must be a problem here. Xia Qian is too familiar with this mining area. And he is born with a unique telepathy. My intuition is very accurate. Without expending much energy, Xia Qian found Yi Chen in a remote underground mine. After arriving here, Xia Qian was greatly surprised. Why? Because Xia Qian had sensed before this place, there should be a high-quality mineral nearby, perhaps also a source stone. Xia Qian knows that there are several places with such things, all of which are hidden without saying. But now, this immortal treasure has disappeared, and Yi Chen still appears here. Coincidentally. It's definitely not a coincidence. Yi Chen discovered this immortal treasure, what other means did he use to hide it? After learning about it, Xia Qian admitted that he was greedy. If he could also master such means, then this mining area is simply his own treasury for Xia Qian. Elder Xia. After Xia Qian arrived, Mu Wanling, who was guarding the door outside, was a bit panicked, but she still blocked Xia Qian outside. It is obvious that Yi Chen is doing something special here. Xia Qian's smile was kind and he whispered, "Don't be nervous, Mu Xianzi. I don't have any ill intentions, it's just that there is something that needs to be discussed and verified between Mu Xianzi and Yi Daoyu." It has to be said that Xia Qian's smile was still very deceitful, at least he deceived Mu Wanling. Thinking that Xia Qian didn't make things difficult for them before. Mu Wanling also learned from other miners that Xia Qian was also a soaring miner. A few years ago, he was just promoted to the position of supervisor elder. For 10,000 years before Xia Qian, he was very kind and not a person of great evil. This is also an important sentence that Mu Wanling believed in Xia Qian. Mu Wanling answered truthfully, "Brother Yi is currently breaking through his cultivation. Please wait for 1 or 2 days, Elder Xia." After speaking, Mu Wanling nervously looked at Xia Qian. If Xia Qian takes action, she will also have relative plans. After hearing this, Xia Qian showed great humanity and said, "I see, then I'll wait outside." After speaking, Xia Qian sat cross-legged in the void and gestured for Shifeng and Lu Geng to also calm down. This is very incomprehensible to Shifeng and others. Yechen district is a mining slave, and he is also the one who committed the crime. Do we need to treat it this way? Just rush in and kill him, then take down Yi Chen's Taoist couple and use them as their tools, okay? Even if Yi Chen has some strength, he cannot face so many of them at the same time. Unfortunately, Xia Qian is the nominal guardian elder. He had already spoken, and it was difficult for Shifeng and Lu Geng to say anything. I can only sit outside honestly and wait for Yi Chen to come out. Yi Chen, who was inside the mine, sensed the situation outside and relaxed his guard. He sneered, "This guy knows the current situation, but unfortunately he took my things. Don't think about it anymore." For the few people sitting outside themselves, Yi Chen doesn't necessarily have a murderous heart. But Xia Qian, this guy, Yi Chen will definitely kill him. Because in his space ring, there are photos of him intimately discussing with those beautiful confidants. This kind of image is naturally exclusive and private to Yi Chen. No matter whether Xia Qian looks or not, Yi Chen cannot let Xia Qian go. Yi Chen never expected to find a piece of dragon blood immortal gold in this mining area. This thing is too helpful for him who has refined a dragon ball. Enough to help him elevate to 2 or 3 small levels. At that time, will this mining area be left to him to roam freely? After Yi Chen learned how Xia Qian became the guardian elder, he also had his own thoughts on making a fortune. When his cultivation improves, he can also become a guardian elder by submitting any source stone he wants. With this in mind, Yi Chen quickly refined the power of dragon blood immortal gold that he had just carved out from that source stone, improving his cultivation. Mu Wanling's vigilance relaxed, which was also very satisfactory for Xia Qian. What he wanted was this result. I waited for half a day. Accompanied by my intuition, I tell myself that the time has come. Xia Qian ordered, "Up." I won't say much about the reaction of the heavenly immortal. When Xia Qian spoke, 4 people including Shifeng and Lu Geng, along with Xia Qian, turned into a stream of light and entered Yi Chen's closed mind directly. It truly turns into a stream of light. After reaching the heavenly immortal level, there has already been an absolute transformation of the body, allowing for arbitrary changes. The prohibition set by Chen at the entrance of the cave only prevented Xia Qian from taking a breath. Xia Qian had no courtesy, and the refined inferior immortal weapon Scorpion Tail Whip was directly thrown at Chen's body. At this critical moment, Chen broke through the second level of the heavenly immortal with integrity. I really can't believe that Xia Qian, this brute, is breaking his promise and playing cards without following the routine. Before Chen could react, he was directly knocked out of his head by Xia Qian, and his spiritual body completely disintegrated. Xia Qian was particularly surprised by this. Because a normal heavenly immortal cultivator, even if their head is blown out by themselves, there is not much trauma. To kill a celestial being, one not only needs to crush their body, but also their immortal spirit. If the immortals don't disperse, they won't die. But Chen's reaction was really abnormal. Just died directly. Did you overestimate this guy yourself? End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Boutique photos of Chen and his Taoist couple. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Boutique photos of Chen and his Taoist couple, Brother Yi. After seeing the spiritual body of her Taoist companion dissipate directly, Mu Wanling was dumbfounded and her face was dull, unable to believe it. Did Yi, who had only killed a third-level heavenly immortal in the Kunlun realm, end up being defeated like this? Elder Xia, you're amazing. Shi Feng and Lu Geng were shocked and immediately praised and flattered Xia Qian. Xia Qian still didn't quite believe it and said, "Are you dead now? Did you think too much about Chen yourself?" Shi Feng said seriously, "Definitely, Chen is gone, only this piece of immortal gold is left." Chen's body turned into nothingness, leaving only the piece of immortal gold crashing lightly on the ground. All kinds of results seem to represent that Chen is really cool. Xia Qian didn't say much. While collecting the dragon blood immortal gold, he quickly reached out to the nearby Mu Wanling. Mu Wanling immediately began to react, but with only the first level of heavenly immortal strength, she was directly entangled by Xia Qian's scorpion tail whip in just 3 rounds. "I'll take this woman down and interrogate her, so you can go and solve this matter first. This matter is full of too many mysteries. But it's not a big problem, I hope Mu Wanling knows more about the content. He has many tools of torture, he can definitely pry open Mu Wanling's mouth. In this regard, Xia Qian has experience. No matter how tightly his teeth are bitten, Xia Qian can still let them go and let himself search." Seeing Xia Qian carrying Mu Wanling walking, Shi Feng and Lu Geng looked envious. "Such a water-spirited undead, I feel that it is definitely not something that ordinary women can bring. They also want to." Just the strength demonstrated by Xia Qian, easily killing Chen, who was about the second level of the heavenly immortal. This means is enough to make them honest. They can also hope that Xia Qian won't play too hard, so that Mu Wanling will be scrapped. So they can still enjoy it. Shi Feng was more clever and quickly asked, "Elder Xia, what should I do with this piece of immortal gold?" Dragon blood immortal gold, in their eyes, is a rare treasure worth tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of immortal stones. This is a huge credit to them who are responsible for mining Area 99. Shi Feng and Lu Geng naturally didn't want this kind of credit to be solely consumed by Xia Qian. Xia Qian glanced at Shi Feng and said calmly, "I will submit this item in our name, and it will not be without your benefits." This answer has just reassured these few people. Xia Qian returned to his cave with Mu Wanling and said in a deep voice, "Fairy Mu, let's be honest. What is the situation with Chen? He definitely hasn't died, has he?" However, Mu Wanling stared at Xia Qian tightly and sneered, "Oh my god, you hypocrite." She trusted Xia Qian and couldn't believe that he had taught him a deep lesson. Regarding this, Xia Qian appeared very indifferent. Hard mouth. Then let her persevere, Xia Qian wants to see how long she can persevere. Xia Qian took out Yi Chen's spatial ring and used his massive divine power to directly clean up the traces of Yi Chen's divine power. The things inside surprised Xia Qian a bit. There are 3 inferior immortal artifacts. An inferior immortal artifact requires 1,000 immortal stones to purchase. And 1,000 immortal stones, Xia Qian needs 2 years to mine. Xia Qian became wealthy because of this. Apart from 3 immortal artifacts, the most common ones are jade slips, totaling over 500. This thing Xia Qian can understand, it's a jade slip for taking photos. Seeing Xia Qian open her husband's space ring, Mu Wanling's expression could no longer stabilize, adding some panic. There's your name, Mu Xianzi, on it. Let me see what's recorded inside. These jade slips have names left on them. What solitary moon, Yi Rong, Yerui, Hai Lan accumulate the names of dozens of people. Among them, there is also Wanling. Xia Qian calculated, there are 9 jade slips with Wanling. He can basically know what kind of content is left in this jade slip. Yi Chen is such a jerk, he has a lot of fun. Xia Qian has also played like this before. But when he was in the blue feather world, he recorded an impact and had his beauties witness his madness seriously before destroying it. Yi Chen actually kept it. Now it's good, it can be considered leaving a loophole for oneself. Don't look, you can't look. Seeing Xia Qian take out her own photo jade slip, Mu Wanling, who was tied up by Xia Qian with a scorpion tail whip and hung in the air, suddenly struggled and her voice became as mournful as tears. She had always been very resistant to her husband Yi Chen doing such things before. But with Yi Chen's strong demands and her heart actually feeling quite stimulated. And Yi Chen was almost invincible in the Kunlun realm where they lived at that time. Mu Wanling was just as her husband wished. After all, some of her sisters and sisters have done so. If she doesn't agree, it's not good. But now it's okay, there really is a problem. Seeing her foolish state by an outsider, Mu Wanling felt like she could die. The immortal power of Mu Wanling has been crushed and blocked by Xia Qian's cultivation. She can't make any noise now. Xia Qian took this jade slip and came to Mu Wanling's face. Crouching down, he placed his hand on Mu Wanling's chin and twisted it up. Mu Xianzi, no wonder I am. If you want to blame me, you can only blame your husband for being too ruthless. Tell me, what's going on with Yi Chen? If you don't want your foolishness to be seen by others, or if you become a prostitute, let those guys play with you. Xia Qian finally integrated into the rules of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom. Yi Chen is coming to challenge the rules. The first person affected is naturally Xia Qian. Xia Qian had no choice but to deal with this. It's better to start first. Xia Qian never believed that Yi Chen would die so easily from beginning to end. With Xia Qian's cultivation level, he can just control the fairy spirit of Mu Wanling, so that Mu Wanling cannot even commit suicide. Heavenly immortal, he wouldn't have died just by hitting a wall. Mu Wanling left tears of humiliation. At this point, Mu Wanling also inquired about the fate of other women in the lower world who were not inferior to her in terms of identity and talent, or even better than her, and did not rely on men to achieve immortality. She doesn't want to follow in the footsteps. I can only answer according to Xia Qian's words. Brother Yi. He is the lord of the Kunlun realm. What you killed was just Brother Ye's spiritual body, and his true self is still in the Kunlun realm. This surprised Xia Qian greatly. The word Lord of the Realm is not unfamiliar to Xia Qian. Every little world has a heart of the world. As long as you refine the heart of the world, you can become the master of this small world. The longevity element of the world master is almost approaching eternity, coexisting with the small world of the world. The longevity of the heavenly immortal is an era, which is 990,000 years. But even if the world master is a celestial cultivation, he can easily live for millions of years, millions of years. The World Master can leave the body in the small world and condense spiritual bodies to explore the immortal realm. This way, there will basically be no threat of death. Many powerful forces in the Xia Qian immortal realm have opened up convenient doors to the World Master. Almost every World Master can become a powerful person at the level of a title immortal king. Before Xia Qian, he had also fantasized about becoming the Lord of the Blue Feather World, but in the end, he failed. Refining the heart of the world is not something that ordinary people can achieve. This Yi Chen is actually the Lord of the realm. Excuse me. Yi Chen is the Lord of the realm, and he can make countless mistakes in front of Xia Qian. But in front of him, Xia Qian had no fault tolerance for a single mistake. Elder Xia, I suggest you don't go too far with me. Brother Yi will come to find me, and then I can plead with you. Seeing Xia Qian fall into a state of shock, Mu Wanling's confidence was also sufficient, and she spoke to Xia Qian with a hint of arrogance. For Xia Qian, this is undoubtedly adding fuel to the fire and completely infuriating him. Send the book for 4 consecutive updates, please follow up and read it. Believe the author, my update speed. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. 2 Realms Portal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 2 Realms Portal. Faced with Mu Wanling's arrogance, Xia Qian arrogantly said, Xia Qian, have traversed the Blue Feather World for 3,000 years. When will I need a woman to speak for me? Xia Qian has never been so manic when it comes to dealing with the families of his enemies. In the Blue Feather World, Xia Qian's cultivation is indeed smooth sailing, but there are also some opponents. Pursuing the position of heavenly immortal, how could there be no competitors? In the world of Shaoqian, immortals are the pinnacle of cultivation. It's just that those opponents couldn't bring trouble to Xia Qian and were crushed by him. Xia Qian didn't take care of the mothers, wives, and daughters of those opponents either. Although they were rough in their words, they took good care of them and never did anything to force them. Xia Qian has been adhering to the principle of not being able to bring disaster to his family. Yi Chen can be considered as the first strong opponent Xia Qian faced in this lifetime. Not to mention Yi Chen's innate strength and invincibility. But at least it's an immortal land. It's difficult for Xia Qian to win. So, Xia Qian's strategic attitude towards Yi Chen also needs to change. We must strike Yi Chen by any means possible, even if we suffer 800 losses ourselves, we must also behead Yi Chen by 1,000. On a rural path in the Kunlun Mountains, a wealthy lady sat in a carriage, seemingly heading to her mother's house. On the way, he was robbed by bandits and was brutally robbed by bandit leaders to become the wife of the village. This is the content of the photos taken by Yi Chen and Mu Wanling in the jade slips. I have to say, it's really a masterpiece. After seeing the content inside, Xia Qian was very emotional. The content of this photo is very long, a total of 27 hours of content. It records the psychological and physical reactions of this wealthy young lady after being robbed by mountain bandits. Comparing the domineering mountain bandit's ability to her childhood sweetheart's strength, the female protagonist couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. Especially the inner struggles are vividly portrayed. The final outcome is naturally that the wealthy lady completely surrenders. Pregnant to meet his childhood sweetheart's fiancé A. Although the fiancé A was angry, for the sake of the face of both families and the pitiful appearance of the female lead, who would die if you didn't agree, the guy still forgave the female lead and chose to quickly get married to cover up the fact that the female lead was pregnant before marriage. On the day of their wedding, the siege of the fiancé's family mansion by the bandit leader and the bandits ended. The plot is thought-provoking, especially the ending. Xia Qian feels that another jade slip about Mu Wanling can tell him the plot after this jade slip ends. Yi Chen is truly the master of the world, he knows how to play. This is a path that Xia and Qian never thought of. That wealthy lady is Mu Wanling, and the bandit leader is Yi Chen. And who is Mu Wanling's fiancé AE in the drama? Xia Qian doesn't know. However, from Mu Wanling's mouth, Xia Qian also typed out the content. She really has a fiancé, but for this large-scale documentary, Xia Qian can score 99 points. The plot, acting skills, and appearance are all online. The only option for Xia Qian to deduct points is why the bandit leader is not himself. Due to such regret, Xia Qian directly copied and plagiarized Yi Chen's photos, and also created one himself. Because of the time, capital and manpower, Xia Qian could not completely copy it. He just chose the most essence to recreate it. For the finished products made by oneself, Xia Qian can give a score of 105, which is 6 points higher than Yi Chen. Because no matter how exquisite Yi Chen's production is, no matter how good Mu Wanling's acting skills are, that's all fake, it's just a performance. But my own Mu Wanling is not a fake performance, but a true, first-hand experience. The scene that Mu Wanling portrayed in front of her true robber must be true. In order to prevent Xia Qian from using violence, Mu Wanling also cooperated with Xia Qian. Although it was a bit excessive, she could accept the demands to meet Xia Qian's photo-taking requirements. This person always has a little bit of sage time. At this sage's time, one will feel regretful for making a mistake. Xia Qian is no exception. But he quickly adjusted his mindset. Mu Wanling is unwilling, and Xia Qian will not do anything forced. No wonder it's all because Yi Chen himself didn't listen and caused trouble for Xia Qian. Xia Qian did it out of necessity to protect himself. Thinking of this, he looked at Mu Wanling. Mu Wanling has already fallen asleep because she is too emotional. Or maybe it's not easy to face Xia Qian, just lying still. Xia Qian didn't care much, took out Yi Chen's spatial ring and continued to explore. Yesterday, due to an urgent situation, Xia Qian did not study the things inside thoroughly. As for Mu Wanling's spatial ring, Xia Qian took a brief glance and threw it to Mu Wanling. Compared to Yi Chen's spatial ring, Mu Wanling's appears quite average. Her savings are no different from those of a normal ascending person, and combined, they are not worth a few immortal stones, which is not worth Xia Qian's attention. Mu Wanling, who was not asleep, was still somewhat touched. This guy actually returned the space ring to himself. Are you planning to be his long-term Taoist friend? Mu Wanling really has suicidal thoughts. Because she knows what Yi Chen's personality is like. If Yi Chen's spiritual body returns to the Qingxian immortal realm in the future, she will be killed by Yi Chen himself. No matter what Xia Qian did to her or not, Yi Chen wouldn't let her go. In the Kunlun realm, Yi Chen will not show any mercy towards women who betray him, even if he has been with Yi Chen for so many years. At this point, Mu Wanling didn't know what to do. Perhaps in the future, doing things like Xia Qian's demands is the best choice besides death. At least, I can survive, and I still have a good enjoyment of living. And Yi Chen, is it really impossible for her to commit suicide? Moreover, at the beginning, she didn't even have the qualification to commit suicide. Mu Wanling feels that life is really like a play. In the scene where she co-starred with Yi Chen, she was forcibly taken away from her fiancé by Yi Chen due to the strength of the bandit Yi Chen. Now, she has been forcibly taken away by Xia Qian, who is even more powerful than Yi Chen. Compared to Yi Chen, Xia Qian is indeed much stronger now. 2 lines of clear tears flowed from the corners of Mu Wanling's eyes, lamenting why her fate was so tragic and desolate. What is this thing? Xia Qian took out a frame similar to a stone gate from Yi Chen's spatial ring. This object is not an immortal artifact, revealing a mysterious mystery that Xia Qian cannot see through. After some thought, Xia Qian closed his eyes and pondered, wanting his soul to tell him the answer. In the end, Xia Qian used his own divine power to forcibly refine it and put his hand into the frame of this stone gate. The ending is that the hand that Xia Qian reached in disappeared. He quickly extended his hand back. Xia Qian felt relieved only after confirming that nothing was wrong with his palm. Is this a portal? After Xia Qian had such a speculation, he immediately separated his immortal power and condensed a divine incarnation, allowing this incarnation to directly transform into a stream of light and enter the frame of this stone gate. If he is already a celestial being and cannot even condense his power clone, how can he be considered an immortal? The power of this immortal incarnation is not strong, but it can act as Xia Qian's eyes and do things according to Xia Qian's arrangements. Xia Qian closed his eyes and sensed the situation where his incarnation was located. It's not the Qingxian immortal realm, this is the Little Thousand World. As a person who rose from Shaoqian world, how could Xia Qian not understand the situation in Shaoqian world? His incarnation crossed the stone gate in Xia Qian's hand and unexpectedly arrived in the world of Shaoqian. Oh my goodness, this change makes Xia Qian dare not even imagine. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. 9 Princesses, Fuluoli. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. 9 Princesses, Fuluoli. So, aren't you carrying a small world with you? Xia Qian's hands couldn't help but tremble. In the future, he found some rare ore in the veins and threw it directly into it. Isn't that a bit crooked? Xia Qian glanced at Mu Wanling beside her. I don't know what kind of intention it was, but Xia Qian actually planned to silence Mu Wanling at the first time. With his current identity, there is no problem killing minors like Mu Wanling who have no support. But in the end, Xia Qian still did not violate his principles. He continued to concentrate, intending to explore what this world really was. Soon, Xia Qian was completely blinded. Kunlun Realm. Isn't this the world where Yi Chen is located? This small stone gate connects Yi Chen's Kunlun Realm. Xia Qian struggled to think for a short time. He seems to have had the opportunity to eradicate Yi Chen. However, as the world master, Yi Chen's strength in the Kunlun realm can be greatly improved, and even the 5th level of the Heavenly Immortal may not have the ability to kill Yi Chen. Moreover, those who reach the 5th level of the Heavenly Immortal realm will be suppressed by the laws of the Heavenly Tao, and their cultivation may even fall from the Heavenly Immortal realm. Facing Yi Chen will only be more difficult then. That is to say, Xia Qian is now just an insignificant external incarnation, with weak strength, and has not been suppressed much. Xia Qian needs careful planning to solve Yi Chen's problem. He doesn't have much fault tolerance and must be cautious. If this place were in the Kunlun realm, the woman next to Xia Qian would become even more important. Perhaps. Could she help Xia Qian give Yi Chen a fatal blow? Xia Qian did not immediately recall his spiritual body, but instead asked him to continue exploring and understanding several iconic buildings in this realm before retrieving them and incorporating them into his body. At this point, Xia Qian stopped pretending and slapped the fleshy area on Mu Wanling's body. Mu Wanling also honestly changed from lying down to sitting, without saying a word. Xia Qian took out the stone gate and asked, "Do you know what this thing is?" Mu Wanling originally intended not to answer Xia Qian's words. Can you consider that your future life may still rely on Xia Qian? She was honest and said what she knew. I don't know the specifics either. I just heard Brother Yi say that this thing seems to have been inexplicably descended from heaven after he became the world leader. This answer made Xia Qian uncertain how true this woman's words were. After pondering for a moment, Xia Qian continued, "Do you know the function of this thing?" This is also Xia Qian's exploration of Mu Wanling. Mu Wan shook his head straightly. Brother Yi seldom tells us about this. I don't know, but I heard other sisters say that Brother Yi doesn't seem to know what it is for. In that case, Yi Chen has a normal sense of caution towards his woman, not a licking dog type. Anyway, in the future, you don't have to go to the mines and just practice honestly. According to Mu Wanling's reaction, Xia Qian could almost confirm that the woman was unaware of the effect of this treasure. So, we don't need anything like silencing for now. Xia Qian's words made Mu Wanling feel quite at ease. When Xia Qian left the cave, Mu Wanling asked after him, "Will you leave me to someone else to play with?" She is really worried that her towering self will become a plaything for a group of people, so it's better to just die. With Mu Wanling's words, Xia Qian walked back to her side, pinched her chin, looked critically, and finally said, "As long as you satisfy me, I won't treat you unfairly. I am also a rising star, and I don't have any Taoist priests now." Xia Qian can be said to have made the pancake very round, just like Mu Wanling, white, round, and large. Gives Mu Wanling the opportunity to strive for the opportunity to become her own Taoist couple. He didn't lie either. In the immortal world, Xia Qian really doesn't have a Taoist couple. Mu Wanling was really fooled by Xia Qian once again. Her facial expression was clearly controlled by Xia Qian, and she only smiled in her heart. There are too many women who want to be his Xia Qian couple. But 9 out of 10 of them can only become Xia Qian's confidant and good friend in the end. Mu Wanling. She doesn't even have the qualifications to be his Taoist couple, she can be a beautiful confidant to the heavens. However, when going out, the bait must be enticing in order to enhance one's charm. Just like women going out and dressing themselves up glamorous and glamorous, both have a certain purpose. When Xia Qian went out, he just handed in the piece of dragon blood immortal gold he had just received. The matter of dragon blood immortal gold has been seen by several people. Unless Xia Qian silences those 4 guys immediately, he cannot hide it. It's just a piece of dragon blood immortal gold, it's not worth Xia Qian taking such a big risk. Xia Qian arrived at the core of this mining area with dragon blood immortal gold. After using his identity token to prove his identity, Xia Qian met the general manager of this place. "I heard that this is a terrifying existence whose cultivation has reached the level of a true immortal. Xia Qian is visiting this place for the first time, and I don't know how the situation here is. I don't know the exact identity of the 14-year-old girl named Loli beside this man, I thought she was his daughter. The second-generation indigenous people in the Qingxian immortal realm are powerful. However, at the age of 14 or 15, Xia Qian couldn't even imagine that he had already reached the 3rd level of cultivation as a heavenly immortal. He was still refining qi at this age. The difference is too big." Xia Qian didn't think much, and after a brief bow, he took the initiative to say, "Elder, as for the 99th mining area, under good luck, I have obtained an immortal gold." After speaking, Xia Qian took out the dragon blood immortal gold. Liu Fang, who was guarding this place, looked delighted when he saw the immortal gold that Xia Qian had brought out. But he quickly calmed down and signaled to Xia Qian to hand over the dragon blood immortal gold to the white dress girl next to him. This stunned Xia Qian, but soon he understood that the position of the young girl in front of him was above that of the person in charge. Xia Qian dared not look directly at the girl's face, but lowered his head and stared at her white silk feet, offering his own dragon blood immortal gold. Xia Qian's actions can be described as fully portraying his identity as a servant. Little did Xia Qian know that he had already memorized the jade feet of this young girl. If there is an opportunity, it is not impossible to struggle for a while less. This type of beauty confidant Xia Qian is also present in the blue feather world. And it's the kind of beautiful confidant who, for the sake of Xia Qian's preferences, never grows up by practicing secret techniques. Feng Ruoxue didn't notice Xia Qian's behavior and pulled Xia Qian's dragon blood immortal gold into her own hands. After inspecting it, she coquettishly said, "Are you the one who dug up the source stone in mining area 99? Her words made Xia Qian suddenly realize, and hurriedly said, "It's your Royal Highness the 9th Royal Highness Princess. Having seen the princess, I am indeed a miner who has mined the source stone. Thank you for your promotion. Thank you to the big shot, W. Honey is so sweet, with a starting point of 100 coins. To the south, there are Gemu TL 888 starting points, LBY 100 starting points, father's love is like a mountain, with a starting point of 1,000 coins, and Luo Xianjuan's reward of 100 starting points. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. The Recruitment of Princess 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. The Recruitment of Princess 9. Feng Ruoxue came to Xia Qian's side and looked at him carefully before nodding with satisfaction. Not bad, you didn't disappoint the expectations of our palace. You dug up another piece of dragon blood immortal gold so quickly. This is a very rare material, worth about 300,000 immortal stones. In order to avoid being suspected, Xia Qian hurriedly said. Your Highness the 9th Royal Highness Princess, I didn't mind this thing, but it was a minor under my hand. But that guy was so reckless that he intended to absorb the power of the dragon blood immortal gold secretly. I have killed him. The 9th Princess can see that the dragon blood immortal gold should be lacking in quality. This is my fault, and I didn't find it at the first time. In front of Mu Wanling, Xia Qian launched a heavy punch. But in front of Feng Ruoxue, the princess of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom, because Xia Qian felt that this girl didn't seem very smart, he disguised himself first and hugged her big no, small arms and thin legs. Find an opportunity tomorrow and make plans. If I had known that arriving in the immortal realm was like this bird, Xia Qian would have remained in the lower realm as the master regardless of what he said. You can really do whatever you want in your own home. Fortunately, soon after, Xia Qian should have such an opportunity. Xia Qian's words made Feng Ruoxue pay more attention to this piece of dragon blood immortal gold. It is truly regrettable to have discovered a slight flaw in this piece of dragon blood immortal gold. Incomplete immortal gold has a significant discount in value. Feng Ruoxue took this piece of dragon blood immortal gold and said, I see, but you are also considered meritorious. Tell me, what kind of reward do you need? Xia Qian, who has been influenced by the blue and white stars in the workplace, knows how to answer the question. It's right to work for the 9th Royal Highness Princess, and I don't expect anything in return. Xia Qian has already disguised himself as very humble. How could a little girl like Feng Ruoxue see through Xia Qian's thoughts? I was quite pleased to be fooled by Xia Qian's words and said, you guys are well versed in current affairs. Our palace lacks a servant under our command. Do you want to follow our palace in the future? Not to mention Xia Qian, even LV Fong was shocked by this. Being a follower of Feng Ruoxue is simply a great blessing for people like Xia Qian. Xia Qian is definitely unwilling. With the portal, Xia Qian is the true Earth Emperor in his own mind vein. Follow Feng Ruoxue and serve Feng Ruoxue, this girl. Xia Qian doesn't feel good. He hurriedly explained. The ants in the next level of the 4th order of immortals, following the 9th princess would be a disgrace to your identity. If I can reach the real fairyland in the future, and the 9th princess still looks up to his subordinates, I will be willing to do something for your Royal Highness, the 9th Royal Highness Princess. Xia Qian's answer also gave Feng Ruoxue face. The reason why Feng Ruoxue suddenly proposed this is actually to suspect whether Xia Qian has any special abilities in mining. If there is, it can bring her extra income. If not, just abandon it. Xia Qian is now speaking without any hesitation, making it difficult for Feng Ruoxue to speak. Thinking that Xia Qian couldn't do without the mining area and escape her clutches, Feng Ruoxue didn't insist. Anyway, if you mine any rare items again in the future and submit them as soon as possible, our palace won't treat you unfairly. These 10,000 immortal stones are a reward from our palace. 10,000 immortal stones are the wages of Xia Qian for decades. That's all for Xia Qian. There is some gratitude from Xia Qian towards this, but very little. As for Feng Ruoxue, if there are good things to return to her in the future. Xia Qian said. It's almost impossible. Thank you, Your Royal Highness the 9th Princess. Taking the 10,000 immortal stones given by Feng Ruoxue, Xia Qian left here. All the way back to my own mining area number 99. Lu Geng and Shifeng are all present. Xia Qian took out 1,000 immortal stones, took 200 of them himself, and threw the rest to these 4 people. His Royal Highness the 9th Princess gave us 1,000 immortal stones as a reward, and we shared them equally. He was the only one who had contact with Feng Ruoxue. Xia Qian can say whatever he wants. If it weren't for the conditions not allowing, Xia Qian wouldn't want to share it at all. Shifeng, with a certain suspicion, said, "Is that all?" Xia Qian stared at him and said calmly, "The value of dragon blood immortal gold is about 100,000 immortal stones, and that piece of dragon blood immortal gold was also absorbed by Yi Chen. It has defects and its value is greatly reduced. How much more reward do you want?" These few have no relationship with Xia Qiansu, and Xia Qiansu is also responsible for obtaining the dragon blood immortal gold. These people have a share of what they see, and 200 yuan is enough. Thinking of Xia Qian's move to kill Yi Chen. These 200 immortal stones are no better than that. Shifeng also chose to shut up. I envy Xia Qian for having eaten enough this time. They all knew that Xia Qian was 100% satisfied with a large amount of immortal stones, but they all had nothing to do with Xia Qian. Lu Geng boldly said with a lewd expression, "Elder Xia, how about Mu Wanling?" Xia Qian can say that he hasn't dealt with Mu Wanling yet, but he just asked her to that something you and I wish for. Xia Qian didn't bring any pressure. Where did Xia Qian's face go? He simply said, "It's a top-notch product. Although I haven't done much, just taking a photo can indicate that it is indeed top-notch." As soon as the word top-notch was written, Lu Geng and Shifeng instantly boiled with longing. "Don't think about it, this one belongs to me." Before these people could say anything, Xia Qian blocked the road directly. What he is interested in can only be his own. How can several people, including Lu Geng, accept this? Watching Xia Qian also gritted his teeth in anger. I have long forgotten the kindness of distributing 200 immortal stones to Xia Qian just now. Fortunately, Xia Qian didn't take out all the immortal stones and share them seriously, otherwise he would have fallen into blood mold. Xia Qian's strength is here, and he is about to reach the 5th level of the heavenly immortal. At that time, these 4 people will not pose any threat to Xia Qian. Go back to your own cave. Mu Wanling noticed the movement and immediately withdrew her efforts. She is really worried that when Xia Qian is not at home, someone else will suddenly break in. After seeing Xia Qian's familiar figure, Mu Wanling inexplicably felt some peace of mind. She wanted to do something, but found herself unable to do anything. After all, what is her identity? Xia Qian glanced at Mu Wanling and didn't say anything after throwing her 200 immortal stones. His purpose in doing so is just to let Mu Wanling experience the benefits of following her first, and to make Mu Wanling recognize reality. In the immortal world, without Xia Qian, Mu Wanling is nothing. Both a big stick and sweet dates are needed to make this woman surrender quickly. On the other side of the cave, he began to borrow the power of immortal stones to practice. He also needs to reach the 5th level of the heavenly immortal as soon as possible to avoid wasting the medicinal power of the breaking realm pill. Xia Qian's actions surprised Mu Wanling. Could it be that she really got her understanding of Xia Qian wrong? He's not some kind of demon or villain. At this time, Mu Wanling did not pretend to be aloof. Putting away the immortal stone that Xia Qian had given her, she also hesitated for a long time in her mind, and started practicing without disturbing Xia Qian. After 4 months of seclusion, Xia Qian finally reached the 5th level of the heavenly immortal. If there is no top-notch elixir to assist in the future. If Xia Qian wants to reach the 6th level of the heavenly immortal, he must cultivate diligently for at least 1,000 years. Thinking of this, Xia Qian basically gave up his cultivation and focused on the golden finger he obtained, which is the Kunlun realm. He wants to replace Yi Chen and become the leader of the Kunlun realm. In this way, Xia Qian can truly practice carefree without encountering any danger. Even if it can be easily smashed. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. It's time to enjoy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. It's time to enjoy. Xia Qian stopped practicing after finishing his work, and when Mu Wanling sensed it, she also stopped along with him. Sitting silently on the other side, waiting for Xia Qian's arrangement. At this moment, Mu Wanling really hopes that Xia Qian can do something. Xia Qian must take action against Mu Wanling. If he wants to take action in the Kunlun realm, he must understand the specific situation of the people around Chen. Fortunately, Xia Qian had already pried open Mu Wanling's mouth before, and obtaining intelligence was not too difficult. Xia Qian opened Chen's spatial ring and checked the jade slips left by Chen. It's not that Xia Qian had a sudden impulse to watch a play. His main purpose in doing so was to see how these beautiful confidants like Chen looked, so that when he reached the Kunlun realm, it would be convenient for him to carry out his plan. Seeing Xia Qian watching the play, Mu Wanling's throat twitched slightly, her expression conflicted, but she seemed ready to be summoned by Xia Qian at any time. After quickly remembering the appearance of Chen's main Taoist priests, Xia Qian finally spoke up. In the Kunlun realm, besides those inside, what other close people do Chen have? This sentence awakened Mu Wanling. Although she didn't know what Xia Qian was asking about, Mu Wanling quickly answered, in the Kunlun realm, Chen still has parents named Yi Wuqi and Su Youwu. If she were a confidant, she would be the ones in the jade slips. Besides that, she also has a few lovers outside. As for brothers, Chen doesn't have many brothers. After some explanation, Xia Qian roughly understood. The cultivation level of the Kunlun world is the same as that of the Blue Feather world where Xia Qian lives. From low to high, there are 9 major realms. Refining Qi, building foundation, golden pill, elemental baby, transforming spirit, refining deficiency, combining, crossing calamity, and Mahayana. Most of Chen's confidants are in the realm of crossing tribulations, and few have reached the Mahayana. After all, Chen is still very young, reaching the realm of immortality at the age of a few hundred. There are not many people who follow in Chen's footsteps and belong to the absolute pride of heaven in the Kunlun realm. Mu Wanling cannot keep up, but she is 200 years older than Chen. And on the surface, it appears pure and obedient, but in reality anyway, he has 2 different personalities, which makes Chen very fond of him. In the end, Chen also used another opportunity to become a celestial being on Mu Wanling, allowing her to ascend with him. As a result nowadays, in the entire Kunlun realm, there is only one celestial being, Chen. It's still too difficult to have several celestial beings born at the same time in the lower realm. That is to say, Chen is the only one in the entire Kunlun realm who deserves Xia Qian to take it a little more seriously. Don't worry about anything else. But Xia Qian also needs to be well prepared and understand how to kill the Lord of the Realm. Otherwise, everything would be in vain. Unfortunately, Xia Qian can only stay in the mining area for now, and it is difficult for him to have the opportunity to go out. This leaves Xia Qian with little opportunity to purchase or understand how to deal with the situation related to the domain owner. Xia Qian didn't care too much anymore and got up and walked outside. There are still 4 things that Xia Qian is quite concerned about in the number 99 mining area that have not been mined. Xia Qian will take these 4 things down first. According to his estimation, the value of these 4 precious ores should be above 1 million immortal stones. Mu Wanling watched as Xia Qian left, and then according to Xia Qian's previous arrangements, she immediately activated the prohibition of the cave and took precautions. She doesn't feel secure now. Xia Qian entered the mining cave, where he had killed Chen's spiritual body. He remained calm and focused, once again gathering a magical body of immortal power to enter the Kunlun realm. The precious ores mined by Xia Qian must be placed in the Kunlun realm for safest. And by putting these precious possessions in, Xia Qian must carefully choose a good place. Xia Qian himself also thoroughly inquired about the specific situation of the Kunlun realm. There is no doubt that Yi Chen's family will dominate now. But there is also an abyssal demon realm near the Kunlun realm, which has always been in friction with the Kunlun realm. The abyss demon realm is also a small world. In this world, there are not only the small world of cultivating immortals and the immortal realm. There are also demons and demons. These two forces are comparable to those in the fairy world. There must also be such an anomaly in countless small worlds. In such a small world, Feisheng also goes directly to the demon and demon realms, not the immortal realm. However, there were no celestial-level demon gods in the abyss demon realm, and they had been suppressed by the Kunlun realm since Yi Chen gained enlightenment. Xia Qian thought to herself, can she borrow this abyssal demon realm to deal with Yi Chen? Xia Qian should pay more attention to this point. After spending half a month, Xia Qian casually locked in a small sect where the strongest in the Kunlun realm was Yuaning, as his base. It should be safest to temporarily hide what you have obtained from the mining area here. After dealing with the affairs in the Kunlun realm, Xia Qian finally withdrew his incarnation of immortal power and began to personally mine the 4 mineral deposits that had given Xia Qian great telepathy. 2 of them are source stones, and Xia Qian is not very clear about what is inside. He did not mine them immediately. There are also 2 that are similar to dragon blood immortal gold, but not dragon blood immortal gold. They are also a special type of immortal treasure, worth several 100,000 pieces of immortal stones. Xia Qian came to the Qingxian immortal realm to mine, and he had no understanding of the things in the Qingxian immortal realm, so he couldn't distinguish them. These things were all collected by Xia Qian into his spatial ring and then buried in the Kunlun realm. Xia Qian still has a considerable number of space rings. Feng Ruoxue gave Xia Qian one. Xia Qian himself also confiscated one of Yi Chen's belongings. It is impossible for Xia Qian to place Yi Chen's spatial ring in this Kunlun realm, so as not to be sensed by Yi Chen. In the future, Xia Qian will use Yi Chen's spatial ring. Not only that, people are also Yi Chen's. After all these things were ready, Xia Qian slowly breathed a sigh of relief. He has been suffering for 10,000 years, but it can be considered as a sweet experience. 1,000,000 immortal stones, Xia Qian felt that even if he didn't mine, it would be difficult to earn them for 10,000 years. His cultivation is really too low, there is no quick way to earn money. There are indeed no good goods left in mining area 99, and I don't know when I can move it. Xia Qian didn't know why these things could be excavated from the number 99 immortal stone mine. As long as he can benefit. After resolving these issues, Xia Qiankai walked out of the mine. The first stop is definitely going back to one's own cave. It takes about a month for Xia Qian to leave. During this month, Mu Wanling has been restless. I don't have to worry about Xia Qian. Mu Wanling was just worried that without Xia Qian, her life would encounter accidents. Mu Wanling is not worried about the safety of Xia Qian. But after Xia Qian returns, Mu Wanling will also feel at ease. Xia Qian's actions were actually a way to cool down Mu Wanling, making it easier for her to take action after she became restless. Xia Qian walked up to Mu Wanling's side and once again, regardless of Mu Wanling's reaction, he directly pinched her chin and grinned, "What? Are you worried about me when you look like this?" This smile reminded Mu Wanling of the smile on her face when Yi Chen disguised herself as a mountain bandit and robbed her during her performance. Mu Wanling also had a bad feeling. Perhaps I am doomed today. That's right, this guy has been hanging out on himself for several months now, so his patience should have been worn away. Thank you for the 100 starting coins for the broken characters and chapters. Father's love is like a mountain, with a reward of 1,000 starting coins. The new book period should not have too many updates to avoid affecting the recommendation. Next Sunday, we should be able to go on a water test push. At that time, we will start working 3 shifts a day. I hope our book friends can stay fit. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Let's live together. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Let's live together. You overthink it, I won't worry about you even if you die outside. At this moment, Mu Wanling is like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. My whole body was hard with just one mouth, and my bones were now soft. But this mouth won't be hard for long. Xia Qian had already reached her index finger into her mouth and clasped it. I gave you the opportunity to reorganize your language, didn't you really worry about me? My prisoner of war. Looking at Xia Qian's threatening gaze, Mu Wanling looked very humiliated. In the end, in order to avoid suffering, she changed her tone and said, I'm worried about you. This answer satisfied Xia Qian very much. When Xia Qian let go of Mu Wanling, he casually shook her face and asked, do you still think your Yi Chen brother will come and save you? He may not have that ability. Xia Qian also made some inquiries in the Kunlun realm. Yi Chen has always been in seclusion. It seems that even though he is the leader of the Kunlun realm, it is not easy for him to reunite a celestial-level spiritual body. There are not many resources available in the Kunlun realm to allow Yi Chen to conceive a celestial-level spiritual body. The resources in the lower world are still too scarce, and we use the same amount of resources. During Yi Chen's seclusion, Xia Qian was free to roam freely. Mu Wanling looked sorrowful as she gazed at Xia Qian and said, if your woman were abducted and humiliated by another man, would you still treat her well? This actually silenced Xia Qian. If this kind of thing really happened to Xia Qian definitely can't accept it. All he can do is not allow such things to happen. Xia Qian's expression immediately became gentle, squatting beside Mu Wanling and beginning to tell lies. We are all miserable people, and I am even more miserable than you. I have been mining for a whole 10,000 years, and to this day. If we blame you, we can only blame your bad luck for flying up here. If I don't do that, I will die. Xia Qian's words were not refuted by Mu Wanling. There is indeed no way out with different positions. She knew that Xia Qian was telling the truth. With a bit of a Madonna's heart, she really began to give up her identity as a victim and gradually began to understand Xia Qian. Seeing that Mu Wanling was silent, Xia Qian held onto her delicate jade hand and said seriously, during this time, you should also have some understanding of my character and know that only I can protect you in the number 99 mining area. Since you and Yi Chen have separated from each other, it is difficult to reunite with the Taoist couple in the lower world. How about we help each other in the future? He is not a great kind-hearted person. If Mu Wanling didn't give anything, Xia Qian wouldn't have been able to protect her all the time. Being able to save her life is already Xia Qian's mercy. I want Xia Qian to cover her up and give her cultivation resources and a place to live. No matter how much Mu Wanling says, she still needs to provide a place to live for Xia Qian. Can she repay Xia Qian? One size fits all, isn't it? Mu Wanling did not answer Xia Qian's words. Because she has no choice at all now, only the fate chosen by Xia Qian. Due to her last bit of dignity, Mu Wanling chose to silently let Xia Qian lead everything. Xia Qian can't care so much anymore. Mu Wanling did not refuse herself, so Xia Qian assumed she agreed. Mu Wanling agreed voluntarily. It was Mu Wanling who was subjected to environmental stress in the number 99 mining area, rather than Xia Qian himself putting pressure on her. The current Xia Qian cannot go down to the Blue Feather World at all. When he was in the Blue Feather World, he had never heard of the small world of Kunlun realm. It seems like the distance is quite far, and it would be troublesome for Xia Qian to travel from Kunlun realm to Blue Feather World, let alone start from Qingxian Immortal realm. For those Taoist priests in the lower realm, Xia Qian has been guarding himself like a jade for 10,000 years. Of course, Xia Qian is a double standard. He can keep his guard like a jade for about 10,000 years. But for those Taoist priests, Xia Qian definitely demanded to defend himself like a jade until death. After being picked up horizontally by Xia Qian, Mu Wanling's hands wrapped around Xia Qian's arms as if she had made her own choice. For such women, Xia Qian wouldn't lose favor just because of this. After all, Xia Qian was originally carrying the idea of utilization. In a word, Mu Wanling will not betray him, and Xia Qian will do his best to meet her demands. He doesn't have anyone to trust in the number 99 mining area either. Now, Xia Qian has reached the depths of a person's heart, probably barely having one. Xia Qian also verified his previous evaluation of Mu Wanling. Indeed, top-notch at this moment, in the Kunlun realm. Practicing at the heart of the world, Chen, preparing to forge a new spiritual body and continue to soar, suddenly spewed out a mouthful of old blood. After wiping it dry, he gritted his teeth and spat out 2 words. Bitch. Before Mu Wanling ascended to the Qingshan immortal realm, she left behind the soul lamp. The fact that Mu Wanling's soul lamp has not been extinguished indicates that Mu Wanling has always been alive. This is the information that Chen can know. Chen dared not imagine what his Taoist priest Mu Wanling would encounter in the number 99 mining area without his protection. He had always longed in his heart for Mu Wanling to dispel the immortal spirit, so that his reputation could be preserved. But now Chen's heart told him that the one who should have come is still here. This made Chen's fists tightly clenched together. When did Chen receive such humiliation, and he was actually wearing a hat? Xia Qian, please wait, I will kill you. Although Chen was angry, he was not foolish enough to personally ascend to the immortal realm. He can only rely on his spiritual body and then find a way to kill Xia Qian. Go, annihilate the 9 tribes of Mu Wanling. As Chen continued to gather his spiritual body in seclusion, he issued a command. The Mahayana realm servants guarding outside the heart of the world immediately took action. After 3 months of hard cultivation with Mu Wanling, she actually had the capital to sprint to the 2nd level of the heavenly immortal. It is not difficult for those who ascend to the lower realm to reach the 2nd level of the heavenly immortal realm after reaching the Qingshan immortal realm. As long as one diligently cultivates and adapts to the environment of the immortal realm after ascending, they can reach the 2nd level of the heavenly immortal realm within a few years. This can also be considered as a generous gift from the heavenly Tao of the Qingshan immortal realm to these ascending beings who come from the lower realm. But to reach the 3rd level of immortality, it requires 100 years of accumulation. If Mu Wanling reaches the 2nd level of heavenly immortal and adds an immortal artifact, it is enough to help Xia Qian supervise the entire mining area. Xia Qian did not break through the protective law for Mu Wanling. Because recently it has been the time for Xia Qian to integrate the total amount of mining resources in the mining area every year. We need to integrate all the immortal stones and hand them over to the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom. As a guardian elder, Xia Qian must be present to fulfill his duties. He, who had not appeared for several months, once again caught the eye of Lu Geng in Shifeng. Looking at Xia Qian's face now full of spring light, these few guys can't help but understand how much Xia Qian has enjoyed these days. Envy. No, these 4 people are all jealous and hateful. Hand in all the immortal stones. After Xia Qian saw that almost all the mining slaves in the number 99 mining area had arrived, he began counting the gains. Most of these people have been enslaved for thousands or even tens of thousands of years, and are basically numb. Honestly, hand over the space ring to Xia Qian and let him take away all the immortal stones inside. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Happy Maid. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Happy Maid. The task went smoothly at the beginning, but eventually encountered difficulties. One of the 2nd-level cultivators of the heavenly immortal named Xiao Yong pleaded with Xia Qian, Elder Xia, it's not that I didn't work hard, but that my luck was not good. I could only mine so much or in a year. The tasks in the mining area also vary according to the cultivation level of the mining slaves. The first level mineral slave of the Heavenly Immortal is an indicator of 100 immortal stones per year, the second level mineral slave of the Heavenly Immortal is 200 immortal stones, and the third level mineral slave of the Heavenly Immortal is 300 immortal stones. The previous requirements were higher, and they began to decrease 5,000 years ago. Of course, the mining area of number 99 has been fully mined, making it much more difficult to extract immortal stones. This Chao Yong has only submitted 80 immortal stones for this year's task, making him the person who has submitted the least number of immortal stones. Xia Qian gave this guy a casual glance. His immortal power is solid and stable, and he is almost reaching the third level of Heavenly Immortal. It seems that it's not that he has mined fewer immortal stones, but rather that he has taken them for cultivation. The speed of cultivation with and without the assistance of immortal stones is completely different. The Xia Qian immortal realm is indeed full of immortal energy, but it is not pure. The cultivation of absorbing natural immortal energy also requires the immortal to purify themselves. If immortal stones are available, they can be directly absorbed. Xia Qian's examination made Chao Yong feel uneasy. He just blocked Xia Qian's heart and showed mercy, so let him go. After all, Xia Qian's reputation was well known before. If the supervisor of mining area 99 was still Su Xiao, Chao Yong would never dare to do so. That is to say, he carefully understood Xia Qian and took the risk to try. Xia Qian also knew that this matter was not as simple as it appeared on the surface. If I punish Chao Yong and directly kill him, then in the eyes of these mining slaves, I will become a petty figure who expands after gaining benefits. Although Xia Qian said he didn't care about the thoughts of these mining slaves, he had to pay attention to his reputation. If I don't punish this guy myself, perhaps many people will learn from Chao Yong's behavior in the future. This may have an impact on the annual task indicators of Xia Qian. He stared at Chao Yong and quickly made a decision, probing and saying, only once. Xia Qian's answer was as expected by Chao Yong. Chao Yonglian hurriedly said, "Thank you, Elder Xia." "Thank you" silently, but in my heart, I mistook Xia Qian for a fool. This also led Xia Qian to sentence him to death. Xia Qian's intuition told him that Chao Yong did not thank him for his kindness, but rather laughed at his foolishness. What reason does Xia Qian have to let go of such behavior? On the surface, it cannot be dealt with, but down. Xia Qian has a way to grasp it. In this year, over 30,000 xianxia blocks were mined in the number 99 mining area. It can also be considered as meeting the indicator requirements of the Divine Wind Immortal Kingdom. Looking at so many immortal stones, although Xia Qian said he had greed. But because he signed the heavenly oath. For the fairy stones mined by the mining slaves under his hands, Xia Qian wants to send them up without leaving any space. After the inventory is completed, Xia Qian is ready to hand over the task. Leaving the responsible area and preparing to head to the core of this mineral vein, hand over the immortal stone to the person in charge, LV Fang. Xia Qian met the person in charge of the 95th mining area next door. Chen Ming, a 6th-level cultivator of the Heavenly Immortal. Higher than Xia Qian by that rank. But the strength is much higher than Xia Qian's. During the 10,000 years of ascending to the Xia Qian Immortal Realm, Xia Qian had never learned the magic of the Xia Qian Immortal Realm, and his combat power was very weak. Chen Ming is still a person who has lived for tens of thousands of years, with stronger experience and heritage than Xia Qian. Xia Qian didn't even think of saying hello, controlling the blue flowing light that transformed her body and preparing to go and return quickly. Chen Ming instead took the initiative to say, "Xia Daoyu, have you heard that Xia Daoyu recently had a beautiful maid?" This slowed down Xia Qian's pace and he replied, "I don't know what Elder Chen means." Chen Ming smiled and said, "Today my mining area is too boring. I would like to exchange 3 beauties with you, Xia Daoyu, and let's play together. Xia Qian mentioned before that this mining area is very dirty and messy. The ascending beings have no human rights here, they are slaves. But I didn't expect the variety here to be so diverse. He looked indifferent and said, I'm sorry, Elder Chen. I don't like such behavior. Xia Qian knew that his description might have been a bit excessive, but it was also quite accurate. After tens of thousands of years, I don't even know what it will be like. This Xia Qian is still a taboo. Chen Ming also heard from Xia Qian's 4 guards that the newly arrived ascender was such a masterpiece that he had such thoughts. Based on Xia Qian's background as a mining slave, his cultivation is not enough for him. Chen Ming believed that as soon as he spoke, Xia Qian should offer the beautiful maid's hands to him. But he actually refused. Tianqian's speed was very fast, and before Chen Ming could continue speaking, Xia Qian had already arrived at the core of the mining area. Even here, Chen Ming dare not be reckless. Not bad, work hard. Perhaps it's because Xia Qian and 9th Princess Feng Ruoxue have such an uncertain relationship. When Xia Qian paid the immortal stone, LV Feng deliberately praised Xia Qian. This made Chen Ming instantly feel a chill. LV Feng has no favoritism towards other mining areas, except for his evaluation and encouragement towards Xia Qian. Does this mean that Xia Qian and LV Feng have a good relationship? How dare Chen Ming have any thoughts about Xia Qian? Xia Qian also had a feeling of fox pretending to be tiger-like. Now his strength is still very weak, and if he pretends to be a tiger, it's also good. Feng Ruoxue is not here, so it is not possible for such a big shot to stay in a mining area all the time. There is no suspense about this. Xia Qian originally intended to take this opportunity to propose to LV Feng that he wanted to go out. But in the end, Xia Qian still gave up on such ideas. His relationship with LV Feng is just a superficial acquaintance. The only bit of friendship. I'll keep it for later use. Brother Xia, I'm very sorry. I was just joking earlier, please don't mind. After leaving the core of the mining area, Chen Ming immediately apologized to Xia Qian. Xia Qian just nodded slightly and didn't take Chen Ming seriously. Returning to his own mining area, Xia Qian paid the wages of these 4 people, Shifeng, and then returned home. Entering the cave, Xia Qian sensed something was wrong. Wanling, what's wrong with you? At this moment, Mu Wanling has not broken through to the 2nd level of the heavenly immortal. Instead, he collapsed on the bed, with a weak breath and blood oozing from the corners of his mouth. This made Xia Qian quickly step forward to check. After several months of being together, Xia Qian must have put in a bit of emotion. If it were just a hard-won partner, it would be gone. The future days of Xia Qian will not be so enjoyable. There are not always skyrocketers in mining area 99, let alone top-notch ones like Mu Wanling. Mu Wanling is just unable to think about it now. As a celestial being, she must have bloodline sensing. Just before, she sensed that all her bloodline-related people in the lower realm had been cut off. This means that all of her relatives in the Kunlun realm have died. It's not difficult to imagine why such a thing happened. Yi Chen moved his hand because of her. Because she caused her loved ones to suffer, Mu Wanling really couldn't just take it lightly. Even solitary stars like Yi Chen still have family members surviving, let alone ordinary people who have more or less close relatives. End of this chapter.